looking at each instance of blatant acts of inhumanity, of violations of international war crimes, shook me to my core, right? It shook me to my core. And if it wasn't for Julian Assange, you bet your ass that, my white ass living in Orange County, California, never would have heard those stories, never would have heard about the disgusting acts of violence that were committed against civilians in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Niger, in Syria, in Libya, in Lebanon, in all across the world, right? It's happening all across the world, still today. Unfortunately, Julian isn't there to report on what's happening right now. He's not there to report, but WikiLeaks is still in the midst of this extradition trial. Call it that. The scam of the trial is kangaroo court hearing. They're still trying to do the work that needs to be done right now. So I want to thank all of you for being here today, for standing up for Julian Assange and for press freedom. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, the fight does not end. The fight does not end. Whoever decides that they want to run for president in 2024 better have free fucking Assange on their website. Front center. No, they're not getting my vote. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Green Party candidate. I don't care if you're a People's Party candidate. Whoever is running for president better have free Assange on their platform. And we should demand that of all of our congresspeople and senators who are representing us, right? If you are ever going to lobby a senator for a single issue, make sure you bring up free Assange while you're there. If you're there campaigning about environmental rights, if you're there campaigning about, Wall Street regulation or what have you, bring up free Assange. Mention his name. Make sure that people hear his name. Because I guarantee you, when he's rotting away in a U.S. prison, the mainstream media won't be saying his name. The leading progressive politicians won't be saying his name. AOC in a fucking interview with The Intercept the other day said, I don't know about free Julian Assange. I don't know about a pardon for Julian Assange. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. That's what your progressive AOC had to say about Julian Assange. He said, Edward Snowden, there's an argument made there. Julian Assange, I don't know. Well, I know, all of you know the work that this man has done and that you will continue to be able to do if he is free. And we need him free now more than ever because he is the one who is doing the acts of justice. He's not the one committing crimes. The people committing crimes are the ones who are locking him up. So thank you all for being here today. And one more time, let's say, free Assange! Free Assange!
Free Assange! Free Assange! Free Assange!
You want to talk?
Yeah, if you want to pass it to him. Possibly, you want to talk?
That was good.
Thank you.
Could you ask the people taking photos in that to hashtag action for Assange DC?
Absolutely.
If everyone can use that hashtag, we can find it.
I'll do that too. What do we want?
Free Assange!
When do we want it?
Now!
Disgusting what's going on with Julian
And be in the
Assange.
backdrop. Is
It's
that
just
okay?
disgusting.
Yeah.
What did he do? He told the American people the truth. We talked about a lot of the other stuff that a lot of people don't know of what he exposed. But I think we all saw the video of the helicopter and what it did to all those journalists who got gunned down. And I think every high school student should have to watch that video to see the horrific bloodshed that has come from war. And all Julian Assange did was tell the truth. Not like the mainstream media, not like CNN, but all they do is give propaganda every single day. Julian Assange on WikiLeaks, he has never had to retract one story, ladies and gentlemen, not one story. He has a 100% accuracy rating. And what do? They let him sit there and watch. Right now in Belmar,
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
they're trying
Awesome.
to kill him.
Hey, everybody.
He needs help. He needs to be out there. And just think about this.
I'll get
Julian
up there
Assange
next.
has been in hiding or in prison for over 10 years. Over a decade. Can you imagine what it's like to not be able to go outside, breathe the fresh air, not hold your children, not tell them you love them. But that's what Julian Assange is facing. And we need to be his voices. All the independent media you see here today, we're under attack. Every day we get throttled on YouTube. Every day they demonetize us. They take us down. Why? Because they were able to do it to Julian Assange. They're able to do it to anybody. So we got to come together, ladies and gentlemen. Get on Action Assange. Help them out. Watch their visuals. And let's free Assange. What do we want?
Free
What
Assange!
do we want?
Now!
What do we want?
Free
What
Assange!
do we want?
Now!
Let's give it up to Action for Assange for putting this together. This is awesome.
Mr. Boykin,
Yeah, what's it do? Oh, sure.
hold my beard.
Hey, thanks everybody for coming out. My name is Steve Boykin, and I'm one of the organizers of the event here today. 175 years. 175 years
It's
under
coming
the
on top.
Espionage Act for an Australian citizen with an outlet registered in Iceland. And this makes sense because does it make sense to anybody?
No!
Anybody.
No!
The United States is claiming international jurisdiction over the press. Raise your hand if you're part of the press. Part of the press, everybody raise your fucking hand. The United States is claiming that if you, a private citizen, receive classified material, you can be prosecuted under the Espionage Act of 1917, which is unprecedented, brand new in this indictment against Julian Assange. It is brand new in this indictment against Julian Assange, and a journalist and publisher, period, is being charged under the Espionage Act, let alone a foreign journalist and publisher charged under the Espionage Act. The United States government is claiming that sharing classified material is an offense that they can prosecute private citizens under the Espionage Act. Raise your hand if you've ever shared a link that contained classified material. The United States government cannot prosecute each and every one of you. My God! Like, can you imagine the Justice Department trying to prosecute every American citizen, every citizen on the globe? No. So they're going to do what they do with the Espionage Act every single time, which is use it as a political weapon to target people that they deem dangerous. So raise your hand if you think you're dangerous. I believe you're dangerous too. For all of the right reasons. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Does anybody else want to get in on this? Ian Schlackman.
Where's Ian Schlackman?
Ian Schlackman! Woo!
I know you have something.
Hey, Steve, can you have him hold it closer to his mouth? He's still not talking into it.
My name is Steve Boykin. You're affiliated with any particular association? Yeah, Action for Assange. We're hosting this.
It's on your back.
Action for
Turned up with Action for Assange.
I mean, ideally, you would hope that judgment of nature would be concerned with her career. The magistrate who allowed the United States to gain international jurisdiction over the press, so she would look at one of the number of egregious crimes committed by the U.S. government, by the UK government, by the Swedish government, by the Ecuadorian government, in dismissing the
Last I checked, Julian Assange was not an American citizen. Stop showing us American law. Last I checked, he has the freedom of speech, even if he's goddamn wrong. I'm outraged by this. I'm outraged by the international pressure for the world. I am dead outraged. Stop the mainstream news of America. We should be furious at this. This is a precedent that we will never get back. Never get back.
Tell her stop.
You want to talk to me the world
Just
police?
because I'm no, that's actually like
We've got to fight. We've got to keep fighting. And we've got to make sure that this kind of thing,
like,
folks,
and he clearly
like,
like,
Do you want to speak?
We don't need a rant, man.
Yeah, everyone else is doing it. Okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry. No.
Do you want to point this at the speaker? It's live on Steve's channel.
Use your newfound power fighting for this movement to go further than ever before. And to take this back over
They
you.
would have like
And to
chewed
take
him up and
this to
spit
the
him out 5 minutes.
This is not okay. This is not acceptable. What's going on with Julian Assange is just the first step in the war on press freedom. Before they will put us and kill this country. Imagine if we really took note that what's happening out there. Imagine if it was told that people are going to die. Imagine if that wasn't exposed. I'm not being such a coward, but I'm so killing them.
Is she here? Oh, it's here. Nice. Andrew told me to point this at him.
I know. My show.
Okay. What do you want me to interview her about? Just the
I
event?
had some bullshit with her. Have you announced that your slow news days dropping Force 1?
No.
We love you, Ian!
He just handed me the phone and said, point this at Ian.
Gotta
I
wrap
want to say thank you to Action for Assange. Let's hear for Action for Assange. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. When they said they were doing this in January, I said, good luck. I can't believe you're coming to DC in January. And look at all you people here from all over. Who's not from DC? Raise your hand. Who's not from DC? This is fucking amazing. Thank you all.
Give it up for Ian Schlockman!
Excuse me. Hi.
Hi.
You're live on Slow News Day.
Oh, hi.
He told me to come interview you. I'm like camera person now. So this is Morgan, friend of the show. And she is amazing, an amazing journalist, writes with Sputnik. So do you just want to tell people like why you decided to come out for the Assange event today?
I mean, I came out because, I mean, y'all already know the history and everything, but, I mean, I came out because there's so much that's riding on the line here, you know, in terms of the precedent of charging citizens of other countries under U.S. law and you know, the criminalizing of handling, you know, classified documents and such. You know, it's like he was saying a minute ago, everybody's looked at classified documents. The media, the mainstream media benefited for years from, you know, the classified documents that were leaked on WikiLeaks or whatever. And I mean, we all benefited too because, you know, I mean, so much of what's classified is classified because they don't want us to know about it. They don't want other people to know about it. And a big reason that they're, you know, raking Assange over the coals now is because he embarrassed them a little too much. So, I mean, I think that they have the right to be embarrassed, and I think we have the right to embarrass them.
Absolutely. And as a journalist, I'm sure that this means a little bit more to you than it would like maybe most people. Can you kind of speak to that, like what that means for your profession and how that's going to affect you going forward if he's extradited?
Sure. I mean, the thing is that, like I said, we've all handled classified documents, and what Assange is even being charged for isn't the fact that he stole anything; it's that he handled classified documents, right? Like, so the notion that that's itself a crime, I mean, that makes journalism a crime. Otherwise, if you can't handle things that we're not supposed to know or talk about without their permission, then we just become a press box for the State Department. You know, I mean, you just need a press release at that point. You don't need media. So, I mean, it's the very future of the industry.
Absolutely. And I mean, you're a national security reporter too, so that's like literally everything that you do. So, thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. And, like, thanks for your work too. Like I mean, we love you, friend of the show. So everybody should check out, Morgan Archukina, again, writes for Sputnik. So, just check her out. Thanks for talking to Slow News Day today.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. Where did Andrew go?
Or have an outlet in the country that he's being extradited to. In what world does a judge sit there and go, okay, so there's violation upon violation upon violation upon violation upon violation of his rights and liberty? What does my laptop say? Okay, well, I'm just going to read whatever the laptop says.
I like him. He's a good kid.
John Pilger was right. This isn't due process. It's due.
Yeah, I mean, you know, God bless.
The fact that collateral murder wasn't part of the hearing at all. Not because it exposed the rules of engagement, which it did, but everybody already knew what they were anyway, because the video had been out for a decade. Because it was prima facie evidence of U.S. war crimes, it wasn't allowed in court. The fact that United States war crimes were addressed at all in a British courtroom is fascinating because if Julian Assange gets brought to the United States, no one is going to hear about that in court. None of you are going to be able to hear about any of this in court. You're not going to be able to show up. It's a national security case. They're not going to let a single human being that isn't a member of the jury, the bailiff, or the judge in that courtroom. Julian Assange would be tried in the dark. And I mean that quite literally because they black out the windows in the courtroom. National security cases take place in a vacuum. Julian Assange's case is already taking place in a giant press vacuum. Once again, Reporters Without Borders and other NGO observing groups have been shut out of monitoring Julian's hearing. Back in September, over 40 different groups were locked out of the Old Bailey in order to observe the world's biggest press freedom trial in our lifetime. Absolutely. Absolutely. Daniel Ellsberg talked about the chilling effect that this was going to have on journalists. It's already happened. I see a handful of people from independent media out here. I see none of the people who sit at indie media's toolkits table. I mean, I realize it's not great weather, but it is your future we're out here trying to protect. I certainly don't see anybody with a giant multi-billion-dollar contract out here, even though it's their job, and I guess we're sort of trying to protect with what those guys really do. Like everyone else. Let's go at the British Embassy for a little bit. There's only
only one decision. No extradition. There's only one decision.
No extradition.
There's only one decision.
No extradition.
Free! Free! Julian Assange! Free! Free! Julian Assange! Free! Free! Julian Assange! Free!
This is
Free! Julian Assange! There's only one decision! There's only one decision!
No extradition.
What's up? I love what I'm seeing here. This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like! That is what imperialism looks like! That is what imperialism looks like! As everybody who's been up here to talk already covered, what happens to Assange affects all of us. We are Julian Assange. We're all the press. We all have our phones now. We can cover everything that's going on. They're afraid of us. The mainstream media is not going to talk about this. Where the fuck are they? I said this yesterday about forced to vote. Where the fuck is the home of the progressives? Where the fuck are they? They're not even talking about this. Because by definition, they are corporate news. They are mainstream media. They're afraid to talk about this. But we're not afraid to talk about this. We're all out here. We're all here for Assange. Doctors from across the world, over 200 doctors, signed a letter that said what they're doing to Assange is inhumane, that he needs to be freed now. Free Assange now! Free Assange now! Free Assange now!
Free Assange now.
This is what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like.
That is what imperialism looks like!
That is what imperialism looks like.
Free Assange! Free Assange!
Love it.
I would just think I'd like to thank everybody for turning out. We're still going to be here a while. No one's going anywhere. Our WikiLeaks stand is making one more circle around the block. They are going to be with us for a while. But we want to get a group picture with everybody if you're willing to hop in for one when it comes around. Feel free to blow your whistles. Eventually, we're going to start walking around the embassy chanting in a little bit after the band picture. We have wristbands, we have buttons, we have flyers in there. Please help yourself to any of our counter propaganda. I appreciate your help. Thank you guys for turning out today.
I like that.
Do we want to keep the live stream going?
Oh, I don't know.
Or end it?
Andrew! Sleepy's probably like, what the hell is going on? Sleepy, I love you.
Hey, could everybody come line up over here for the group photo when the van pulls through?
Plug it in. What do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do with this? Is it still live?
We're taking
Yeah.
Okay, Sleepy's gonna kick my ass if I just walk around like
Short
doing.
people in the back, short people in the front.
I really don't tell you.
Holy balls! What do I do with this?
You're doing great. Keep it up. Keep it up. You're doing
Man. You know, Sleepy's gonna kick my ass for this,
I
right?
can take it if you want to get a group photo.
Okay.
Hey, you haven't screamed in my ear, Misty. You good?
Oh. Hi Sleepy, you're
Hello.
there. I love you.
Hey, you haven't screamed in my ear. You're good.
I hear him.
Oh, hi Sleepy.
Hey, what's
What'd you
up? I
What do you
said
want me to do with the thing, man?
I don't know. I don't know what Steve wants to do. It's his show.
Well, I was asking him and he said he didn't know either, and then he walked away. So Steve, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Do you want it cut or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said cut it.
All right.
Good luck to us.
Okay, we love you, Sleepy. Yeah, Steve says good luck to us all.
Good luck to us all, y'all.